in the chat. Give me a hell yeah if you feel like you can whoop somebody's ass. What are you gonna do? Hell yeah. Give me a hell yeah.
Hey, that don't mean shit. You got to go out there and do it. Talk is cheap.
Holy shit! He killed that guy! Holy shit! He killed that guy!
Yeah, I mean, Triple G, in my opinion, he probably should have been fighter of the decade, but just the opportunities weren't there.
Of what decade?
Wait for why?
What do you want?
Yeah,
What-
which decade are you talking about?
Explain that, please.
All right. So, before he came to America, he was supposed to fight Felix Sturm. He would have beat Felix Sturm without a doubt.
Are we giving people credit for things that didn't happen?
That they didn't do?
No, I'm saying he should have been, but he wasn't.
Even if he
because
did
didn't
beat,
get the
even if he
opportunity.
Yeah, I mean that's Felix Sturm.
Yeah, even if he did beat him,
Hey.
yeah, like who cares?
Felix Sturm, Dmitry Pirog, Sergio Martinez.
What?
Canelo. Yeah,
Hey,
imagine
just like,
beat all these
can I
guys,
tell you-
man.
We can't
This
do
didn't happen.
that, man.
You know, Manny
didn't happen.
Pacquiao's been active this whole decade, right?
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is if Triple G got all those wins, man, holy shit.
Oh,
yeah,
guys,
yeah,
you
holy
forgot.
shit, so what? This
guys. I think I'm gonna change my mind. In 2014, he knocked out in 2 rounds Marco Antonio Rubio, guys.
Ooh.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I'm not
Hey, man.
Wait.
My
Smoke, he
fighter
beat
of the
Curtis
decade
Stevens.
was
He beat
Chocolatito,
Curtis
but I'll
Stevens.
take whatever.
And Lemieux too. Don't forget Lemieux, bro. Solid
And
wins.
he knocked out Gabriel Rosado. Yeah, you know what, L-Dog? I agree with you, mate.
Fighter of the year.
You are straight tripping. Okay, so am I going to notice a pattern of you over glorifying European fighters? Is that what you're going to do? Is that going to be your thing, L Dog? You're going to come in here and say these guys with like crazy records are like the best fighters of a decade? Is that what's going to happen?
Smoke realized the pattern.
Hey,
damn,
man.
bro.
Bro, I
Hey,
just did
if my grandma,
my fighter of the decade.
if my grandma had two wheels, pedals, and a handlebar, she'd be a bicycle. Well, what the fuck does that mean?
No. What I'm saying is like,
You know,
I'm saying his resume, he shouldn't have got it. But if he was given the right opportunities and people didn't duck him, I think he would have got it.
No, he got the opportunity. I mean, Andre Ward said, "Hey, come here, we'll fight," and he said no.
Yeah, even if he would have got all of those opportunities, like who could he have fought that would have maybe Cotto and Martinez?
Yeah, but think
I
about
guess
it.
those two, those?
Yeah,
Not even then.
even if he would have fought all those guys and beat them, I don't think he'll still be a decade. You still have fucking
imagine
Pacquiao
he
right
got
there.
the decisions over Canelo. He beat Sergio Martinez. He beat
Oh,
Pirog. He beat
so just want to clarify, L-Dog. We're imagining now, right? We're just imagining things. I mean,
yeah, because people
That's what
ducked
you
him and
said.
he got robbed. So I don't think. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Wait, who ducked him though? Who ducked him? Just let's go through the
Sid-
names. Who ducked him?
Felix Sturm.
Okay, yeah, man.
Okay,
Sergio
so
Martinez.
what does Felix Sturm do for anybody?
Okay.
Miguel Cotto.
Okay, and so you think those 3 names would have made him fighter of the decade?
And the reversals of the Canelo robberies.
Nah,
I reckon because
hell
all you
no.
have to do. Well, that's
Not
what the
that
Boxing
old, not
Writers
that version
Association
of
said.
Martinez. Nah, bro.
Hey, the Boxing Writers Association said they would have given it to Golovkin had he beat Canelo.
man, that's some terrible writers thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, who cares? I don't even.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to give it to him just because some writers said that, they would have given it to him.
Yeah, they would have gave it to him if he performed better and had better fights.
If his resume was good, we would give it to him. It's like,
and those guys, Felix Sturm.
How many
the fighter of the decade? How many the fighter of the decade?
how many-
Oh, okay.
I mean, how many
racist.
fighters does he have on his resume that are good? Probably like 5, 6 guys tops.
You can't, probably not even 6 or 5.
I mean, Lemieux was a good win.
That's what I'm
Jacobs was a
saying.
good win.
Yeah,
Devin
Lemieux's a
Mayo
good
was
win. Jacobs is a good win. Kell
about
Brook
it.
is a win. William Monroe
bro.
Jr. What else? Curtis.
You don't
Stevens,
get rid of
one
the guys
that.
coming up 2 weight
Uh,
classes.
That's why I said if you want to count that. So I'm trying to give him max credit, right? So let's start from 2010, nothing. 2011, nothing. 2012, nothing. 2013, Curtis Stevens. 2014, Marco Antonio Rubio, right? 2015, David Lemieux, Willie Monroe Jr. 2016, Kell Brook moving up 2 weight classes. 2017, Daniel Jacobs. And then the first draw, Avanis Matarosian, and the loss, Steve Rolls, and a win over Sergey Devryanchenko.
This is what I will say, right? It's not his fault that his run was weak. I'll just say, like, he didn't have the guys in his division that, would have solidified him as for his reign.
They ducked him.
But he's a good fighter. I'll give Triple G that. I genuinely believe Triple G is a really good fighter. Yeah, however, his resume is not that. It's really
I agree. He's not a Hall of Famer in my mind.
It's not. I think he will be.
Yeah, he probably would have been.
I'm telling like Mayweather retired officially in 2017, but had his last fight in 2016, and even in like a little bit over than half the time, he still was able to outperform Triple G for the entire decade. That's not even talking about Canelo or Pacquiao. Like Triple G would have had zero shot at this.
And if you want to talk about,
Mayweather had a better record in a better resume in 5 years than Triple G did.
Yeah. When did Ward retire?
What, 2017?
Oh.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about him getting fights that he didn't, or winning fights that he didn't win, we could start with, Pacquiao capturing a super welterweight title and then beating Shane Mosley, beating Marquez. He lost to Bradley, but that was like robbery. He got knocked out by Pacquiao, beat Brandon Rios, beat Bradley, beat Algieri, lost to Mayweather, beat Bradley, beat Jesse Vargas, got robbed versus Jeff Horn, beat Lucas Matisse, beat Adrian Brunner, beat Keith Thurman to be the oldest welterweight champion in history.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and Eldar, look at Canelo's record. I mean, his resume. He's got from 2011. He's got what? Let's do 2012. Mosley, Josecito Lopez, Austin Trout. He lost to Mayweather. Angulo, Lara, Kirkland, Miguel Cotto, Amir Khan. Went up 2 weight classes. Smith, Chavez, Triple G twice.
I mean, hold on. Thinking about this,
Daniel Jacobs and Kovalev. Daniel and Kovalev.
Is Triple G's resume that much worse than Hagler's?
I'm not insulting Triple G, but come on, man, really? I mean, Hagler.
I'm being real because I've watched every Marvin Hagler.
Okay, so what you have to ask yourself is Hall of Famer, all-time greats on Triple G's resume.
No. Look, Hagler's good, right? But we look at Hagler.
No, but you just said resume. You just said resume, not that he's good or anything.
Who are Hagler's 5 best wins?
Yeah.
No, we're talking about
Hall of Famer.
Who are the 5? Can you even name?
Answer the question. Like who on Triple G's resume are all-time greats?
Well, none of them.
Okay,
yeah, maybe Canelo.
You go.
Maybe Canelo.
You could say Canelo, but that's about it.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, you could. But possibly, if you squint hard enough, maybe you can throw Danny Jacobs, but he's not done. I don't think so.
Who was the best?
I don't think not all-time great. Not all-time great. Not even Hall of Famer. Not even Hall of Famer, actually. No.
Who was the best active middleweight that Hagler beat in his title reign?
Yeah, who cares?
Because you can't even name it.
Yeah, no, because it doesn't matter.
All right, so if you can't even name it, you're in no position.
All right,
it just doesn't matter. No, actually, because actually, Hall of Famer.
Because you don't understand. Bro, you need to go look at Hagler's resume.
So
this is like
Hagler
what I'm saying is that the metrics that you're using don't equal better than Hagler. Like
dude,
what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm not saying he's better. I'm just talking about the similarities.
I'm talking about resume.
So hold on, let me talk. Hagler did beat Duran and Hearns.
Duran, a career 135-pounder, and Thomas Hearns, who was moving up in weight.
Yeah, but he still beat them. Those are all-time greats.
They weren't middleweights, man. I'm asking you.
They literally held titles at middleweight.
Not at the time.
I'm confused what your like message is. I'm just kind of like in shock almost.
Yeah, I don't understand what about Triple G's? What about Triple G's resume about says? Let me talk about Marvin Hagler.
So it's actually pretty similar, man. And
yes, what is it like?
Well, I just have a simple question.
There's a lot of guys who people. Here's the similarities, all right? A lot of Golovkin's big wins were against guys who were smaller than him.
What is that? But the guys, but yes,
Tommy Hearns,
not a Hall of Famer.
Was bigger. Hold on, Tommy Hearns was bigger than Hagler. That's why he went all the way to cruiserweight.
That's all you're talking about. Size?
Moving up in weight.
You're talking about size. That's it. Like not the caliber of fighter, just the size of the fighter.
Okay, name fighters that aren't in the Four Kings who Hagler beat.
Why would you have to take the Four Kings out of it?
Let's take the all-time greats out.
Can you stop talking over me for this? I'm trying to drill down what he's trying to say because really I'm trying to figure out.
If you take all the all-time greats out, who did he beat?
Yeah, then it's fair.
It's like, what the fuck?
I'm asking you, which active middleweight did he beat to become a great middleweight?
No, but what I'm asking you is who is on Triple G's resume that you think is comparable to Hagler? Like why?
Well, no one's comparable to Hagler, but I'm saying their resumes aren't actually that different. If you actually went and watched some of Hagler's fights, dude. All right, I'm biased. Since you're saying they're very different, can you name 5 opponents in his title reign without Wikipedia box rec or anything who aren't in the 5 Kings?
So are we quizzing now? Is that what we're doing? That doesn't
name every single Marvin Hagler opponent.
I got you.
Alan Minster.
It's about Triple G. You said Triple G's thing is not similar.
Bonnie Briscoe.
Because of the size of the guys, right?
Alan Minto, Briscoe. You're talking about John the Beast McGarvey.
Danny Briscoe was not when he was the champion.
Oh no, you didn't ask that. You said middleweight. So
you said middleweight.
And Hall of Famers. Hall of Famers. Hall of Famers as we're getting on. And we got John the Beast McGarvey. You got Briscoe. You got the Beast.
John the Beast McGarvey.
No, and it says Hall of Fame. You said 4 middleweight. So stop trying to move the needle. Like
and how many world titles?
Hold on. Why are you quizzing Hagler? You got no right to quiz Hagler after you're going to say Triple G was going to be fired a decade. You got no right to even quiz him.
All right, so I can name more Marvin Hagler opponents than you.
No, you can't. No, not the me.
Yes,
no, definitely not the me. No, you can't. And in
how many Hagler fights have you seen?
Hold on. Tell me the best opponent that Triple G's faced. Who's the best opponent Triple G's faced?
Canelo.
Yeah, Canelo, right? And other than that, who else has he got? Like, why are you even mentioning him in the breath of Triple G? How you said they're similar. So tell me how they're similar. If you only got one name, so how are they similar?
That's what I've been
a lot of their wins were from guys.
No, hold on. We're talking about.
Okay. So are you gonna let me talk, or are you gonna interrupt me? Because you might actually learn something if you shut up.
No. You need to learn something because you said he's gonna be fired a decade. Then you said Then you was questioning the fighter's resume, and then you started mentioning about what fight is his name. You can't say nothing about Hagler. Hagler's one of the greatest Hagler is one of the greatest middleweights of all time. Triple G's not even there. But I can arguably say, I tell you how low down on the totem pole, if there was a totem pole, that he'd be down. Roy Jones would beat him. James Toney would beat him, right? Bernard Hopkins would beat Triple G. All these guys would beat, even Kelly Pavlik would. You know what? Kelly Pavlik would beat him, and Sergio Martinez.
Triple G would beat all of them. Yeah, I said.
Okay, tell me why do you think he'll be Triple G?
Yeah, but it can't be Canelo.
You didn't give me an explanation, so why should I give you one?
No. Tell me why you think Triple G.
Triple G hardly beat Danny Jacobs.
It's a fantasy fight.
You gotta relax.
What Triple G's been fighting?
All right. Here we.
Go ahead.
Hagler struggled against Juan Roldan until
Juan Roldan would beat Triple G though. Juan Roldan would probably beat Triple G though, wouldn't he? One from Argentina would beat Triple G. You don't think he'll beat Triple G? Do you even know one? And the rest of the guys don't know who Juan Roldan is. Juan Roldan is a fucking hard guy.
Wait, Hagler stopped him. Hagler knocked him the fuck out.
Guy was hot. That guy,
Hagler knocked him. Have you seen the fight though? I'm biased.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he had.
Don't let him slip out. Don't let him slip out. Hey, don't let him slip out. Just stick on him. Right. So are you trying to say Juan Roldan is better than all the opponents other than Canelo that he's faced, even better than Jacobs? Juan Roldan.
Oh, but all he's doing is talking shit about Hagler. I want to hear about Triple G. Like, what's so great about Triple G? Tell me about Kurt Stevenson. Let's talk about Willie Monroe.
There's no point me continuing this debate because you guys don't know Hagler's resume.
You don't know Triple G's resume. You don't know Triple G's resume.
You got to stick on Triple G. You got to stick with Triple G. The claim you made, yeah?
Triple G's resume, man.
Yeah, Willie Monroe. Like you were talking about Hagler when you guys Willie Monroe, Curtis Stevens.
You can't even mention Hagler. You can't.
Danny Jacobs.
You know what? If you was gonna be comparable, if you was gonna compare like Triple G, you gotta go so far down on the thing, yeah.
Steve Rolls.
That bro, he's not even. He's right. Triple G right now, yeah. He's not even like that guy. The guy, everyone knows that he's just manufactured, bro. Come on, man. You can't even make Hagler's name. Like, don't do that. Don't do that.
I can't mention Hagler's name.
You can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. You know what? You know what? No, hold on. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because when Hagler was fighting, there was only 2 belts, right? And you was undisputed, right? Undisputed. That means he had to fight everyone for about whole fucking 6 years. He fought the best at middleweight. The guys you're talking about are coming up. These are Hall of Famers, and arguably Duran pushed him 50. They're going 15 rounds, bro. You can't even talk. These guys are going 15 rounds sometimes.
Hagler went 15 rounds with a guy who fucking was a career 135 pounder.
Let me ask a question. Who would win between Iron Barkley? Who would win between Iron Barkley and Triple G?
Hey, hold on. Hold on.
Iron Barkley versus Triple G. Now hold up, 1 minute. Iron Barkley versus Triple G. Who wins that fight? Because Iron Barkley is a Hall of Famer, you know. What? Why? What you mean he knocked fucking Hearns out twice? What are you talking about? At middleweight. What do you mean you don't care? Let me be Iron Barkley. Bro, he's not beating James Toney. He's not beating Roy Jones.
I just don't understand the hype over Triple G hardly beat Danny Jacobs. Do you realize that, right?
He beat Danny Jacobs in my eyes. He was past his prime.
Yes, but you're the same person that had Lomachenko beating Gary 11-1. So I'm not trying to look through your eyes. No offense. It looks like your eyes to me seem like it's like just Eastern European fantasy land.
Hey, I'm biased.
Yeah, I'm not trying to come at you.
You're talking about your website. How come all of the rounds?
You're making Duran
a little bit.
Hey, you're making Duran seem like he had to come up. And what about Kell Brook? Didn't he have to come up 2 weight classes?
Yeah, he did, but I don't give Triple G credit for that win.
Right, Canelo had to come up.
The only thing
his best. Wait, hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. His only credible fight, really, in his career, besides Danny Jacobs, had to come up and wait. Canelo.
Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns.
Okay, so if you're gonna have to, so good. I'm glad you realized that. I'm glad you realized that, right?
You like Triple G because he's white, you a bitch, and unbiased, you a bitch too. Fucking.
Okay, cool, good. Anyways, but let's get back to
let's not talk over each other too. So if Hefe told me to moderate because I don't know what he's doing. So,
all right,
don't talk to each other, please.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Triple G's best fight, because it was a draw and then he lost, was a guy moving up, and that literally was that's his key point in his career. Is Canelo.
How is Duran just a guy from 135? He's like literally one of the best flyweights who ever lived. He's like literally one of the best who ever laced him up at 135.
You could say Duran or Hearns.
Okay, and what weight classes did they move up from?
Okay, but
the same ones.
Hearns went all the way up to cruiserweight. You do know that, right?
Canelo went all the way up to 175.
Yes, and Canelo beat him.
But Canelo beat him, yeah. He lost.
Come on, man.
I mean, you can make an argument for him winning first. But
wait a minute. Are you not giving Canelo credit for the Kovalev win? Come on, man.
No, he's not giving credit for the Triple G win.
Hey, I give him credit, bro.
No, you said he didn't win. You said he got robbed. You're not giving him credit.
I said I thought he didn't win.
You're literally.
He lost twice, but you also said Gary Russell Jr. won 1 round against Lomachenko. So you see where you lack credibility in this kind of judgment.
I apologize, but L Dog, the only reason you're saying Triple G is better because he's white, bro. You have no facts to prove your point, and I'm in backstage. Prove your point, pussy.
Hey, H Money, Triple G's half Asian.
I don't know, but comparing him to Hagler just seemed. I don't think anybody would actually agree with you. I don't think historians know. Nobody.
I was talking to Steve Kim the other day. He made the comparison.
Steve Kim. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Steve Kim doesn't have any history with any sort of,
respectable, but yeah.
Ahmed, I know Duran is better than Canelo, but I mean, fucking hell, if Salvador Sanchez were to have gone up and fought Sugar Ray Leonard, I mean, shit, I wouldn't have given him any credit for beating Salvador Sanchez.
Okay, I mean, but that's true. Salvador Sanchez was a hell of a fighter. What I'm saying is, Willie Monroe is not. So Steve Rose is not. So when you say you want to talk about
Willie Monroe,
that's one thing. But to try to compare it to Triple G, that means you have to talk about Triple G's record. And David Lemieux can't shine these dudes' shoes.
Nah,
he can't carry the jock. I don't get it. Like, not even the guys that ducked him. Like, not Cotto, not Martinez, not whoever the hell you're talking about. Strum, what the hell are you talking about, man?
Yeah, so let me get this straight. It's not like any of us are Triple G haters. We all hold Triple G to, a regard of being a long-reigning middle-weight champion, even if he has some asterisks in his resume. But to say that him and Hagler have comparable resumes, I just think comes from a place of insincerity.
Nah, bro. I mean, seriously, is David Lemieux any worse than Wilfred Cyprian?
David Lemieux is a lot better than is a lot worse than Tommy
Wilfred
Hearn.
Cyprian. That's not what I asked you.
I know, but again, Lemieux is a lot worse than Tommy Hearn.
You're not answering the question.
Because it doesn't. Okay, so I don't understand why would you take a guy?
Do you know who Wilfred Cyprian is?
Does it matter?
Okay, some expert.
I'm asking you. Does it matter? I know you keep trying to change the subject, but the subject is whether or not Triple G's resume stacks up to Marvin Hagler's resume. And you keep talking about
and the fact, and also, hey, L-Dog, the fact that you're comparing, but L-Dog, the fact that you're the fact that you're comparing one of Triple G's best wins to Wilfred Cyprian lets us know Triple G's resume is not hot at all.
Right, and
because Wilfred Cyprian is not. That's not a key name on Hagler's resume, and the fact that you're saying Triple G's best win and comparing it to that.
Who are the best? Who are the best?
We already told you his best wins.
No. Who are the best active middleweights who he beat during his title reign? Active middleweights.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Meaning they had fought at middleweight their previous fight and were in the Ring Magazine middleweight rankings.
Can you guys hear me or not? Can you hear me or no?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. So what I would like to do, I know that you came on.
Dude, answer the question.
Okay, can you not interrupt for a second and stop?
Dude, answer the question.
Okay, stop telling me what to answer the question. You just listen for 1 second. Because
all right, you can't answer it. That's fine.
I got you. Can you please stop interrupting me for whatever this diatribe you got going on? I would just like to know when you said the comparison about Triple G and Hagler, why is it all you're talking about is who Hagler didn't fight and Hagler's opponent's deficiencies? Why are we not talking about how great Triple G's opponents are?
That's not what I'm saying, man. What I'm saying.
No, but that is what you're saying because you're comparing the two. So compare it right.
No, what I'm saying is we're talking about middleweights, right?
No, we're talking about resume.
You just stop ducking. Hey, Black Horseman, get your bitch ass on here, bro. Get your bitch ass on here, pussy.
We're talking about the resume in general, and you're talking about just middleweight. So if we're just talking about solely middleweight,
in terms of all-time great middleweight,
you kind of have to take Canelo off of. Wait, if that's what if that's what we're doing, then you have to take Canelo off, right? Because he didn't have a belt when he fought Triple G, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Canelo's off. So take Canelo off, and now what is Triple G left off with?
Daniel
Jacobs and Lemieux. Okay.
Daniel Jacobs also didn't have a belt because he lost it on the scales.
Well, there you go.
I mean, sure, but he was a
he didn't have a belt
previously, and he went on to win.
It was unification, yeah.
Plus, he was an active middleweight,
but not for Daniel Jacobs.
But do you see how you're kind of selectively picking your who you want to? You're comparing someone from Hagler's resume, who's not so good, to one of Triple G's more notable wins. So if you want to do that, I can say who's Marco Antonio Rubio compared to Roberto Duran, right? And then you're gonna go, oh, but that's not the same because blah blah blah. It's like that doesn't make sense. You're cherry picking what win you want to use and what loss or what win you want to use for the other guy.
Hey, IBT, here's what I'm going to ask, man. Name me the active middleweights on Hagler's resume who are as good as David Lemieux or Daniel Jacobs during Hagler's title reign. And by active middleweights, I mean guys who held a belt at the time, were ranked in the Ring Magazine top 10, and have fought at 160 in their last fight.
I thought we were comparing resumes in totality.
I'll answer your extremely niche question with Alan Minter. How about that? Unified middleweight champion.
And now who is it for Triple G? Who is the Triple G guy? That
he lost to Canelo. He lost to Canelo. That's
Canelo. What did Canelo do at middleweight outside of beating Triple G?
At that point, yeah, exactly.
Nothing.
He beat Cotto.
That wasn't even at middleweight. Really, it was at a catch. What was that? 155.
He held the middleweight title, man. What Chavez Jr. at 164.
I just want to say this real quick, guys. I just want to say, Bias, thank you for exposing UGC boxing. I mean, Black Horseman on Monty Brown shit. You know what I'm saying? He ducked Monty Brown. Shout outs to you for that, bro. Real talk. Y'all
H Money. I got something to say to you, man.
What's up, bitch? Talk to me, racist boy. What's up, bitch? What's up, bitch?
H Money.
What's up, bitch? I'm listening, bitch. Speak.
Is Devin Haney still one of your favorite fighters?
Hell yeah, can't no white boy beat Devin Haney, bro. I agree with him. I totally agree with him. Can't no white boy beat him. Can't no white boy beat him. Loma's a duck. Loma ducked him. Dropped the WBC. Tell Johnny Bum to talk about that with his racist ass. Tell Johnny Bum to talk about Loma throwing away that WBC. What about Salido beating up Loma? Salido with 11 losses.
Hey, H Money, I got a question, man. How does it feel?
No, wait, before you get to H Money,
that the LDBC got an interview with Haney, yet Haney didn't want to do an interview with your bum ass?
the LDBC defending David Haney, bro. Because you racist white boys, Haney making up racist comments, calling people nigga. But as you racist white boys, BDA boxing got exposed. Explain that. BDA got exposed.
I'm not even a part of BDA.
John, I don't give a fuck what you a part of. John Boxing exposed BDA. Explain that.
Bro, I'm not a part of BDA.
You dick ride him though.
How do I dick ride him?
You got Johnny Boy Dick in your mouth all the time, speaking up for him like you know him, like you met him.
Hey, Johnny Boy's cool, man.
You act like you met him or something, bro. You got his dick in your mouth.
Hey, Johnny Boy's cool. It's kind of like
Johnny
you and
Boy racist calling people nigga over the internet. Where the fuck they do that at?
Hey, look, man.
Where I'm asking you where they do that at, bro?
Hey, look. So what? Am I guilty by association?
Wait, but hold on, L Dog. No, before no, JFL. No, we got to finish our conversation, JFL. Chill out.
What's Triple G
so look, hold on, bro. So now that we said Alan Minster, can you give us a name for Triple G that did that before he fought him? Unified? Can you do that? Middleweight?
Wait, what? Sorry.
Yeah, so who's a better win than Alan Minter? Like you can say Daniel Jacobs might be on par. Yeah, Jacobs might be on par possibly, but
yeah, I'll say
Jacobs
was on par in my opinion. But I mean, look, I'll say that.
Nah, but was he unified?
Jacobs? I mean, he wasn't unified, man.
Huh?
He wasn't unified.
Who?
You don't have to be unified to be better.
No,
though.
who
like,
accomplished? No. Who accomplished as much as Alan Minster before Triple G fought them? Just go ahead and answer that.
Yeah, so like, who's a better win?
You make niche. Hold on, he makes niche questions for us.
Let him answer the question. IBT.
You're making niche questions for us. So can you answer that?
I mean, I don't know, man. But I'll say this, bro.
You don't know, bro?
Nobody.
Nah, I can't say nobody, but you
got
gotta.
This Johnny Boy.
Well, I can. I can say it for you. Nobody.
All right, man. But here's the thing, man. Alan Minter had been knocked out 6 times before he fought Marvin Hagler. How many times?
Okay, Danny Jacobs got stretched before he fought Triple G.
How many times?
I mean, by nobody. I'm talking about by nobody.
So are we doing this?
Yeah. He was good though. He was retired undefeated though. I ain't gonna say he was nobody.
Yeah, Lemieux got stretched by an old ass Antonio Rubio. So are we really doing this, or what?
Yeah, he did, bro. But I mean,
Oh, okay.
Look at who Minter got stretched by.
Okay. But
That's
look what he
saying,
accomplished.
both ways.
Look what he accomplished, and look what Triple G's opponent accomplished. Yeah, that was after Triple G. I'm talking about before Triple G. Nothing. Like,
hey, he's
not
still a good
comparable.
boxer, man.
Yeah, this isn't even about celebrating Triple G. This is just about talking shit about Hagler. It sounds like.
Yeah, Hagler's one of my favorite fighters.
Why we spending 20,
okay,
30
then why isn't this not a comparison of Triple G and Hagler? Why is this only a dissection of Hagler's resume?
Right.
Because I'm drawing comparisons, man.
But you're not drawing comparisons. But you're not drawing comparisons.
Get him smoke. Get him smoke.
That's what I'm saying. Like I would understand that if you were talking about Triple G fought this guy, but Hagler didn't.
Triple G topic, bro. That's getting old now, dog.
Did you not mention anything about Triple G's? Like you're not mentioning the greatness of Willie Monroe or Steve Rowe or
they ain't great. Just like you're not mentioning the greatness of Tony Simpson, you dumbass.
Because we already have. But Eldar, because there's
you got to take out greats Hall of Famers in order to have this conversation.
Man,
right?
Daniel Garcia got better resume than Triple G.
Yeah,
we know that. Yes.
This is the thing, man. I said I didn't want to continue this debate with you guys because
I know you didn't, bro. Because you got body, bro. You got body.
No. Because CC, look, you just said it again. You said resume.
Exactly. And it's all about
you said resume, but you only want to ask niche questions about like what at middle. If you're gonna say resume, that's in totality, not weird niche questions to nitpick to make it sound like it's comparable. If you're gonna do that, then you gotta do it in totality, bro. That's it.
Hey, what I'm saying Hagler has a better resume, of course. But
there you go, bro.
That's all we were saying. All we were saying.
Let me clarify. Hagler got a better resume, but I'm gonna say this: they are not like light years apart.
Yes, they are, bro. Yes, they are.
Nah.
You're a fucking idiot, bro. You're a fucking idiot. The only reason you like Triple G like that is because he's white, bro. The same reason with Lomachenko, that racism, bro. You guys pointing the finger at everybody else, but you guys are the real racists, bro. Explain that.
Bro, I like Lomachenko because he's one of the best fighters in the world.
Because he's fucking white, bro, and he got beat by Salido.
Yeah, Salido was arguably.
But 11 losses. Salido with 11 losses.
So,
but
Salido was not a bad fighter.
I like how. Okay, their resumes in totality. How are they comparable? Can you answer that? All together.
It's like what Steve Kim said. They had a lot of
I don't not what Steve Kim said. I'm asking you your opinion, because you can't name all-time greats on Triple G's resume that he beat. There are none. Oh,
hey,
there you go.
Keep it real, though. Hold on, let's keep it real though, man. You gotta let's keep it real, man. You gotta be impressed with Lomo, bro, and how he defeated Russell, bro. Let's not just.
Oh yeah, Lomo's nice. Nice. Lomo's nice as fuck. I'm not. Yeah.
But would you say that Russell won one round?
Bro, IBT. Here's what
like
you need
Lomo
to know, man.
That was like Lomo's toughest fight to date.
I scored it 1 round for Russell. And
look, bro, hold on, bro. Whoa, Eldar, what?
Yeah,
exactly. Even JFL.
Yo.
He said 1 round, bro.
He gave 1 round to Russell. What?
What?
Yeah, bro.
I swear I've never heard.
You can't judge fights in slow motion either. That's not a thing.
We got
you can analyze fights. Yeah,
and he's not even that biased. He's not even that biased. Like that's wild to me. Like 1 round, bro.
He actually stepped up on this one, bro. And I don't know if it's gonna be a rematch, but if it is, that'd be a good one. That's like a trilogy to me. But Lomo actually stepped up, man, for the first time, bro.
Hey, I'll say this. Look, when I scored at 11-1, I made sure to check the CompuBox numbers to see if they reflected. Now, before you interrupt me, the CompuBox numbers reflected a wide decision of like 10-2, 11-1, 9-3 even. Then I checked Eye on the Ring, which is a website where boxing fans can unofficially score a fight.
Hey, bro,
what they do is they collect the data and they have the rounds, and the only rounds where people thought the majority of people thought Gary Russell
cool.
Jr. won was 6 and 9.
Yeah.
So Gary Russell Jr. only won 2 rounds on the majority of people's scorecards.
On the website where
on a biased site.
Let me
How do you
tell
know
you
it's
something.
biased, bro?
L-Dog,
Because
let
to
me
the
explain how
scorecards
it's
you just
biased.
mentioned.
L-Dog, let me explain using statistics how it's biased. So in statistics, you can't just take a poll that's optional and then say it's a valid poll. Because if I walk down the street and these 6 men on the panel, I say, hey, you want to take this poll? And 2 of them say no, right? Then you're not getting the full picture. So I didn't even know what that website was, so I can't input my scorecard on there, right? So if my scorecard is different, you're only going to have people who maybe are your crowd or, I don't know, people you know or how you know that website. They're going to go and put their scorecard and then compare it with others and say, oh, look, like-minded people, right? You can also have that same feature on BoxRec, and I can check in a minute, but I'm sure BoxRec does not have the average being that Gary Russell won 1 round.
Yeah, and plus you don't score fights. You don't score fights using copy box.
Dude, I know, but I'm saying, like, I'm bringing up supporting evidence.
Okay, let me bring far more well-known website, BoxRec, right? If you want to bring BoxRec, which is a...
Can I just say something like just the thing about CompuBox and the idea that punches landed and punches thrown is a valuable tool to score a fight. Like there are actually...
I never said that.
But then why did you bring up CompuBox? Because that's really all it does.
You use it as evidence. So.
You don't use it to. I used it to look at roughly how many punches were landed per round.
Right, and then that's how you drew your conclusion.
That is not how you score a fight. To see,
yes, I know. I'm well aware of that.
Why are we talking about it when we're talking about the fight score? You said you scored it, and then you use CompuBox and this website about what's a bunch of fans. This is literally what you said you used.
How do you know they're Loma fans?
Hold up, man.
Yo, let me ask him a question. Let me ask him a question.
Hold on. I'm trying to say one thing. How many rounds you think Lomo got Russell by? 2 or 3?
He said 11-1.
Bro, he said 11, bro. He said 11.
I'm talking about
That's wild.
I had it 119 to 109.
He said he gave Russell 1 round. Period.
All right, let me ask a question. Steve, you mentioned Steve Kim, yeah? So you Steve Kim, like you kind of look up to, he's a sports writer. You kind of like trust his opinion, right? Yeah. So Steve Kim, is he Asian?
Yes.
Is Triple G? You said Triple G's from Asia, right? So you don't think there's some bias there in his opinion? That.
I mean, there could be, but...
Well, let him answer the question. Do you reckon there's some bias there? He's Asian. Triple G's Asian. There's not many Asian fighters doing what Triple G does. Do you think there's some bias there in his opinion?
There's a lot of good Asian fighters who are...
No, I'm asking you a question. I'm asking a question. Do you think there's some bias there towards Triple G?
No, what you said was there's not a lot of Asians doing what Triple G did.
No,
there's a lot of Asians.
That's what I said. One minute. I asked you, yeah? You validated like Steve Kim's opinion, right? You ready? He's a sports writer.
Bro, look, I'm just saying.
I'm asking the question, so I'm asking you again.
Okay, so you're asking me the question, but you're answering.
Don't you think he's biased? Don't you think he's biased because he's Asian and Triple G's Asian with his opinion with regards to Triple G? Yes or no?
Look, I wouldn't have a clue. I don't accuse black people of being biased.
Yes. No, but I want you to answer the question. Yes or no?
No.
Do you think he's biased? Okay, then. So you don't think he's Asian, Triple G's Asian. So when he's talking about Triple G in his biased opinion, he's going to say stuff like that. But don't need to bring it over here because at the end of the day, Steve Kim really and truly, in the sport of boxing, they don't really regard him that well. In his opinion, he's bought off by Golden Boy and De La Hoya, and he says certain things that are biased. Everyone knows that. He's been bought. So what I'm trying to say to you is when you bring his opinion over here, where everyone over here is a free thinker and they can think for themselves, it don't mean shit. Let's go to the scoring card, right? So you said you only score 1 round, yeah? I'm an official judge. I actually judge over here in the UK, right? So I understand the scoring criteria. What's your scoring criteria?
Clean, effective punches, ring generalship, effective aggression, and defense.
Okay, yeah. So
hold on, wait, EJ, real quick. L-Dog,
in that order.
L-Dog.
Clean,
but don't forget,
right. Ring
but don't forget
number 2, and then effective aggression, and then defense.
Wait, he's reading the script. He's reading the book. He's reading the book. No, let me. No,
but he's leaving one thing out. He's leaving one thing out. No. He told us that he watches it in slow mo.
No. I'm trying to show him.
I watched it in slow mo.
I'm trying to show him because he doesn't know about judging, obviously, right? He's just reading what they tell him. When you watch a fight,
I gave you the fourth scoring.
No. I know you gave me your criteria. You gave me your criteria, but when you watch a fight, when you're judging, if you've ever been a judge, it's broken down in minutes, right? So let me give you an example, right? So there's 3 minutes, yeah. It's broken in half, right? So the first half of the minute, the first half of the minute, and you have the second half of the minute. Now, guaranteed, Lomo won the fight. But what you're talking about, the wideness of the scorecards, it doesn't matter. He won the fight, but most observers, they probably gave Gary Russell probably slightly, maybe 2, maybe 3 of the round, but he definitely won the fight. But to what one round, it wasn't like that, bro. Well, you can even see with your own eye. You don't need to bring the stats of the punch count, because the punch counts only doesn't show the hardness of the punch, show how many punches are thrown. Lomas, he won the fight, but it wasn't that wide. You know what I mean? So that's why most people got a problem with it. Loma won the fight, understandably, but it wasn't that wide, bro. It wasn't like 1 round, you know what I mean? And then I'm trying to say to you is that when you're talking, there's a lot of bias in what you're saying, bro. Like, you talk to a lot of biased people, and all you do is read out the playbook. When you're talking to people, you don't know
Who
you're
do I
talking
talk to that's biased.
Well, Steve Kim's biased, man. Everyone knows he's biased, bro. He's a biased guy. He only works. He's only one. He doesn't like does he like the PVC? Yes or no? Does he like Wilder? No, he doesn't appreciate them. So he's gonna say stuff
to him about them.
I'm talking to him. So why the thing is here? Another thing as well. I don't understand. Yeah, I asked you about Steve Kim and you brought up black people. That shows you that you try to divert. Like, with me, you can't do that. You have to stick to the criteria. You can't bring up. You can't bring up Haglar. You can't bring up Haglar. No, he's a Hall of Famer. His career's over. Triple G, in effect, yeah, his career's still active. So you can only judge someone when their career's over. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? That's what makes it bad. If his career's over and everything's done and dusted, yeah, and then we sit back and you say, yeah, compare him to Haglar, then we can go there. If you're talking about skill for skill, if you feel like if Triple G fought Haglar, who win that fight? That's comparable. Now you might say, yeah, Triple on his day, depending on what Haglar was there, you could say it's win, but Haglar, everyone knows, has got chin, everything. He hasn't got no weaknesses.
Prime Haglar beats Triple G, in my opinion.
Yeah, there you go then. So what was I don't understand. You can't really critique someone until their career's over. That's another thing as well, bro. I'm just letting bring some points. That's why people get kind of offended. If you're gonna do it, bring it.
Come on, man. We already knew Roy Jones was great, even though his career wasn't over. But I mean, it was essentially over.
Let me ask a question. Is Roy Jones' career better than Evander Holyfield?
I don't know, man.
That's a tough question.
No. I'm gonna show you something. Sports writers of the decade, yeah, gave Roy Jones the fighter of the decade for the 90s. But if you look at the resume, he got Mike Tyson. He fought Lennox Lewis, right, to a draw, and he fought all the great Riddick Bowe. He beat Riddick Bowe, but all these guys there. And if you're gonna fight that kind of freaking murderer's row kind of fight, you're gonna lose some, yeah. Who did Roy Jones fight? He got James Toney. He's got this, that, but he never fought no one on that level. I mean, who's the hardest guy that Roy Jones fought to give him the fight of the decade? Yeah, we know he's a Hall of Famer, but he ain't fight no killers. He didn't fight no Jerry McLennan. He didn't fight no Jerry McLennan. He didn't fight none of them guys. They was coming through. No Michael Nunn. He didn't fight no Michael Nunn. Them guys coming through, and he didn't fight Darius Mikucheski. But I understand, yeah, it's all about perception. But really, when you tear back the tape, you look at Haglar or Pernell Whitaker should have been fighter of the decade, because the competition they fought, it wasn't about win or losses. You know what I mean? It was the best competition. But anyway,
EJ. So basically, you're saying Triple G needs like an Andrade or Charlo on his resume.
Nah, even that's not.
But the thing is, if he gets names on his resume, right, and big names and dust like that, then you can, when his career's over, you might assess his career. But when he's active in his career, you can't pull out you can't touch like these kind of names. It's like blasphemy. You know what I mean? Like, bro, let me put it this way, right? My man L-Dog, yeah, when Triple G's resume is over, is done with, it's like some newcomer and you go, this guy's gonna be better than Triple G, bro. You'll be turning your grave, bro. You just don't do that. You know why would someone pick on the Hall of Famer and their career's over? It's encapsulated. They're Hall of Fame. Like, undisputed. When he fought the belt, he's got 15 rounds. 15 rounds, bro. Undisputed.
Real quick. I know you hear it going in, but I was saying is I think Triple, like, let's say you said it wouldn't help him, but let's say if he did have those names on his resume already prior to fighting Canelo, would it made it better?
No.
Charlo and Andrade.
The statement, no, but you got to see the thing is the statement when you're talking about. Listen, bro, people don't do this. No, I'm trying to. Let me explain. Let me answer your question. People don't do it in baseball. They don't do it. They don't really do it in basketball. Like they say, Michael Jordan's the best. Everyone knows Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the best. It's not even comparable. But for society state and sports rights, they put Michael Jordan because he's more exciting, the dunks and that. But everyone knows Kareem because they didn't like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He got negative.
There's still people who say Bill Russell.
That's cool. You know what? No, I'm asking a question. No, fine. But what I'm saying to you is that going back to your question, yeah, if he puts names on his body and he has a long, like Bernard Hopkins, right? He's run 20 years, but he wasn't undisputed. His IBF belt, and on his last kind of run, he became like undisputed at middleweight. He got all the belts, but then he only had 2 defensive. Haglar was undisputed. You understand what I'm trying to say to you, bro? When you won the belt, it was 1 belt. In all these, you couldn't duck no one. You couldn't duck no one. All the guys you fought were killers. All the fight you guys
you could duck fighters back in the day.
Who the Hagler duck? Who the Hagler duck?
I'm not saying Hagler, but you said you couldn't duck guys back then.
How do you? No. Listen to me, yeah.
That's what you said. You said fighters couldn't duck
hold on.
He was talking about being undisputed.
Jack Johnson ducked Sam Langford.
Who? He fought him already, though. He fought him already, though. He fought him already.
He ducked the rematch, bro.
No, listen. Hold up. Let me ask you a question. When people box at the pro level, what do they box for? Do they box for glory or do they box for money?
I'll say it depends who they are, man. I can't.
No. You don't know nothing. Listen, bro. Like, listen. I know boxing. When people box at the professional level, they've done all the amateur stuff for free. When they box at the professional level, question: do they box for glory or do they box for money?
Can't eat belt.
I'll say it depends on the boxer, man.
No, you can't answer it. If you can't answer the question, I'll answer it for you. They box for money. So when he boxed Sam Langford for the colored belt, they fought and they got
correction though. Mayweather did both. Go ahead.
No, I'm not talking about Mayweather. No, I'm trying to get to a point of understanding why. No, he tried to bring up names that I think I don't like. So I don't know all these guys here. So what I'm trying to say to you, they didn't. No, listen. When you got undisputed and you're going,
he ducked Sam Langford.
When you get all the way over here, bro?
How many times did he fight him? How many times did he fight him? How many times did he fight him?
I don't know, man.
If he ducked him, if he fought him, how can he duck him?
Bro, he ducked the rematch. You know, bro, you can go find what he said.
Hold up. If he fought him, how could he duck him? He's already fought him already.
He ducked the rematch.
If he fought him, how could he duck him? What are you talking about?
Is AJ ducking the Ruiz trilogy?
Nah, he beat him in a rematch.
Let's go back to the thing. Let's go back because someone's snoring, right? So, end of the day, people box for money, and then when they're getting the money and they got the belts, then they're trying to secure their legacy to go into the Hall of Fame. That's how it works. So, where we are with Triple G's legacy, right? He's collected the belts, he's fought a Hall of Famer, but he's still not beat a Hall of Famer. Therefore, he got no rights to talk about Haglar. You can only talk about a Hall of Fame when they're. Who does that? Why do people even do that? You're talking about a guy who's done his shit in the sport, right? For all the very best in his era, and you're trying to drag him up for why? Why would someone do that? Why can't you just give guy credit? Say, yo, Triple G's nice, and that's it. Why people disrespectful? That it's very disrespectful. Like stuff you're saying. It's like it's rude, and your guy, your guy's gonna be dragged through the mud. Like your same guy, Triple G. If he gets to the Hall of Fame, if he does, great. If not, well, but that's how it goes, right? If he gets to the Hall of Fame, they're gonna do the same thing what you're doing to a Hall of Famer. Like you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Jeez, don't be so sensitive, EJ.
Bro, you were sensitive. You said that Triple G.
No, EJ, come on, man. Come on, bro.
EJ, man, go listen to some fucking Drake and crying about.
He's getting schooled. No, he's getting schooled. Hold on, he's getting schooled, and he doesn't understand. Yeah, he don't understand. Where's he from? Australia? Where you from? Australia? Well, South Africa. Where you from?
New Zealand.
He's from New Zealand. New Zealand, they ain't got no fight. What? Joseph Parker? Who you got over there? You don't even know nothing about boxing, bro. You get your boxing. Asia's near to New Zealand, yeah, and you're talking to Steve Kim, the worst guy you could ever talk to. You're not even talking to Fat Dan or none of them people. You're talking to the worst guy to get your knowledge from. New Zealand is
because I'm from New Zealand. I don't know anything about boxing.
No, you know boxing, but your knowledge is not that vast as much as most people because most people were winners. We've got winners coming from our country. Everyone I'm talking to has winners, proven Hall of Famers and winners. Tell me who the Hall of Famers from New Zealand.
I'm talking about from my city.
Now everyone's winners. There's winners from the city. From everyone we're talking to, you got no right in the conversation. Your country got no Hall of Famers. Who is your Hall of Famer?
Bob Fitzsimmons.
Bob Fitzsimmons came from England. What are you talking about?
Grew up in New Zealand.
He was born in England, and everyone knows he's born in England. Bro, listen, because you grew up and he was born in England. What are you talking about? Everyone knows
that. He grew up in New Zealand, man.
He was born in England. He's known as an English champion. What are you talking about, bro? Oh, New Zealand's not fucking bringing him up. Listen, let me tell you something, bro. Like, you're not even talking about Australia, where you got Costa Zoo and you got Jeff Fennick. Your country got no.
Get him, E.
Your country's got no. Your country's got no champions.
But my bloodline does.
Your boxing knowledge is very skilled. And if you're coming into the conversation and you're really picking on Hall of Famers, you got no business doing that, bro. You got no business.
EJ, man, you're using logical
because you're getting schooled. You're getting schooled. Another thing as well, you're talking
using
about
logical fallacies.
Get him, EJ.
You're talking about when Haglar, which guy did he fought at the middleweight to prove what? To prove what? He fought Hall of Famers, bro, who actually came into the middleweight division and went up. What are you talking about? Like, bro, like you can't even go there. Like, I don't understand. Like, the conversation with you, yeah, it's like, bro, I don't know where you pulled it out. If you're talking to Steve Kim and you're getting knowledge from, it's the worst person to get it from, bro. You got no champions in your country. Like, when you talk to these people, you need to question these people where they come from. Because I know that over here in the UK, we got champions right now. In fact, we got Anthony Joshua and we have Tyson Fury. We're from champions, and you got Joseph Parker. That's who you got over there. You ain't got David Tula's done.
What does that mean? What does that mean about what I know about boxing?
You can't talk if you ain't got no champions, bro. You got no pride, so you're trying to latch on to whoever. You're trying to latch on. Oh yeah, Triple G. You're trying to latch on to Lomachenko. You got no champions, bro. Why are you talking?
Bro, what do you mean? Like, fucking hell. So someone doesn't know boxing if there are no champions in their country.
Put him in the dirt, EJ. Put this man in the dirt, man. He's finished.
Like, bro, that's just stupid. You can't, like, that's just stupid if you say, oh, there are no champions in your country, so, you know, oh, you don't know anything about boxing. Like, that's a logical fallacy, first of all, so. Well,
yeah, I don't know, but all I could say is you can't compare no damn Triple G to Hagler. We'll just leave it as that. And yeah, move on.
DJ Boxing Live here.